One moment of silence, one lifeless cradle, and history was changed forever. This is the story of a woman who rose from obscurity to become the only female emperor in Chinese history. But her path began with a scandal so shocking, it is still debated more than 1,000 years later. Did Wu Zetian sacrifice her own child for power? Or was she the victim of slander by later historians who feared a woman on the throne? Tonight, we step into the shadow of the Tang Dynasty to uncover the deadly baby scandal. The Tang Dynasty was the golden age of China, a world of grand palaces, poetry, trade along the Silk Road, and a court glittering with wealth and intrigue. But behind the silk curtains of the Forbidden City lay another world, the brutal, invisible war of the imperial harem. The emperor was surrounded by dozens of wives, concubines, and attendants. Each woman competed for his attention. But it wasn't just love at stake. A son born from the emperor's bed could change the balance of power. A daughter, too, could elevate a mother's position. The court was a battlefield without swords. And in this battlefield, Wu Zetian sharpened her mind as her deadliest weapon. Wu Zetian was born in 624 CE to a well-off family. Her father, a timber merchant, ensured she was educated, rare for a woman at the time. She learned poetry, history, and politics. Unlike other girls, Wu did not dream only of marriage. She dreamed of greatness. At just 14, she entered the palace as a concubine of Emperor Taizong. There, she learned court etiquette, manipulation, and the cruelty of imperial life. When Taizong died, Wu should have been sent to a convent for the rest of her days, her fate sealed. But destiny intervened. His son, Emperor Gaozong, remembered her beauty and secretly brought her back to the palace. Oh, this was unprecedented. Wu Zetian was a former concubine of his father. Bringing her back was a scandal in itself. But Gaozong was enthralled. Soon she became his favorite. Yet Wu's path to power was blocked by Empress Wang, Gaozong's official wife. Empress Wang had one fatal weakness. She was childless. In the Tang court, that was not just a personal sorrow, but a political disaster. A woman's worth in the palace was measured by her children. Wu, however, was fertile. She bore Gaozong several children, sons and daughters, securing her importance. But still, the title of Empress Consort belonged to Wang. The two women became locked in a bitter rivalry. Wu's rise depended on removing her, and then came the moment that changed everything. In 654 CE, Wu gave birth to a baby girl. The child was the apple of the emperor's eye. But only weeks later, tragedy struck. The baby was found dead in her cradle, strangled. The palace froze in horror. Emperor Gaozong demanded justice, and Wu Zetian, weeping uncontrollably, pointed her finger at Empress Wang. She claimed that Wang, jealous and resentful of Wu's child, had murdered the baby with her own hands. The emperor, shocked and enraged, believed her. But who really killed the baby? Historians have long debated this. The official story. Tang records describe Empress Wang as guilty. They say she killed the child in jealousy and that the emperor punished her justly. The darker theory. Many scholars argue Wu herself strangled her own infant daughter. By sacrificing her child, she eliminated her rival in one ruthless move. Think of it. Wu Zetian knew Empress Wang's greatest vulnerability was her childlessness. By turning the baby's death into a weapon, Wu created the perfect trap. Some historians wrote, Wu, though weeping bitterly, knew well what she had done. And with her sorrow, she deceived the Son of Heaven. The revisionist theory. Others suggest the story was propaganda, created by later Confucian historians who despised Wu Zetian's reign. They painted her as a monster mother to discredit her. In a society where filial piety was sacred, accusing a woman of killing her own child made her the ultimate villain. So, did she kill her baby? Or was history rewritten to demonize her? Whether guilty or framed, Empress Wang's fate was sealed. She was accused of murder, stripped of her title, and locked away. Her supporters were silenced. Her power was gone. The following year, in 655 CE, Wu Zetian became Empress consort. But Wu did not stop there. Years later, when her power was unshakable, she ordered the final execution of her rivals. Empress Wang and another concubine, consort Xiao, were brutally put to death. According to legend, Wu ordered their limbs hacked off, their bodies thrown into vats of wine, left to drown in agony. It was said Wu looked on without pity. Her daughter's death had been the first stepping stone, and the others fell one by one. With rivals destroyed, Wu Zetian rose higher. When Emperor Gaozong suffered a stroke, Wu took over state affairs. Ministers and generals bowed before her. She sat in court, issuing decrees in his name. When Gaozong died, Wu refused to step aside. She maneuvered past her own sons, men who should have inherited the throne, and declared herself Huangdi, Emperor of China. This was revolutionary. Never before had a woman claimed the title of emperor. Her reign lasted nearly half a century. She expanded China's borders, supported Buddhism, encouraged meritocracy, and built monumental projects. Some called her a wise and capable ruler. But her rule was also stained with blood. She used secret police, executions, and purges to crush dissent. Even family members were not safe. To her enemies, she was a tyrant. To her supporters, a visionary. And to history, she remains a paradox. Yet, no matter how high she rose, the whispers never ceased. Her story always circles back to that child, the daughter who died in the cradle. Was it a tragic accident, a jealous empress's crime, or the most cold-blooded sacrifice in imperial history? Even in her final years, as Wu lay dying in 705 CE, her critics spoke not of her victories, but of that scandal. It became the defining symbol of her ruthlessness, the moment when ambition outweighed blood, when the price of power was her own flesh and blood. Wu Zetian remains one of the most polarizing figures in history. She shattered traditions, claimed ultimate power, and ruled one of the greatest empires on earth. But history remembers her not only as China's only female emperor, but as the woman whose reign began with the silence of a cradle. So what do you believe? Did Wu Zetian strangle her daughter to seize the throne? Or was she the victim of lies, her name forever blackened by men who could not accept a woman emperor? The truth lies buried in the Tang court, but the legend of the deadly baby scandal lives on.